Evening all, welcome to Fitting Dust. So, aren't they adorable little puppies? Basically, are you seeing the kind of, hopefully if you're watching a few of these videos, you're seeing the very trolly nature of these images. I think in this particular case, it was to liven up this gun. This is the plasma cannon. If you're not familiar with this gun, then good on you, because it's a load of bollocks. See you next time. I'm kidding. Basically, this gun is awful. Let's try and analyze this gun. It's supposed to be a kind of rocket launcher. So if you're familiar with things like Quake and Return to Castle Wolfenstein and blah blah blue, these are all weapons similar to that. So they're all kind of similar to the kind of one-shot Panzer Shrek style World War II guns, which really were kind of, you know, RPGs basically. And I think what they've tried to do with this is, it's not a bad idea, it's a good idea in fact. It's kind of shoulder mounted, you know, propelled projectile. The only problem with it is, it's a load of bollocks. It doesn't kill anything. Now, call me stupid, but I think the splash damage on this should be quite big, and I think the damage it does should be quite extreme. Now, this obviously is going to mean the issue of people doing kind of run and gun and shooting people's foot. Well, then just make the splash damage so big that it will kill the user as well. Simple, really, I guess. But it's not the best of guns. It's a slow projectile. There's three types, obviously, you know, basic, standard, standard, advanced, and prototype. Now, I'm using the Aurum prototype one. I guess really just to show you this weapon, but I can't really put my hand on my heart and say this is a very good gun at all. I think it's maybe come into the game a bit pre-nerfed. I think its damage isn't enough and its splash damage isn't enough. The projectile's too slow, and in general it's a completely useless weapon, to the point where you probably would fall about laughing. In fact, you've got more chance of killing your opponent through literally a heart attack from laughing, seeing you use this gun, than actually hitting them with it. So it's basically a complete waste of time. And as you can see, I'm getting the odd kill only because I'm actually sneaking up on idiot snipers who obviously have no comprehension what that little moving circle in the top left is. So it's a bit of a shame that it's not a good gun. However, I think it's a good addition to the game, and I think that's a really nice thing to bear in mind, is that, you know, like the Flaylock, like perhaps some of the things like the Mass Driver, they just need to maybe do a bit of tweaking with it, and it probably would be quite a good gun. I would speed up the projectile. I think this should almost have like not a forge gun speed projectile, but it should be quite swift. It should be something that leaves the gun and travels very quickly. Almost think real RPG. If you've seen those kind of, you know, Allah Akbar terrorist kind of videos where they're firing off RPGs into the middle distance knowing they're hitting nothing, then it should have maybe that speed. So it's got quite a fast travel, but nowhere near the forge gun. That should be obviously king. I think the damage probably could be a bit more. I think I didn't kill anything unless they got an absolute dead-on shot. I don't know if that's right. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. It probably, I guess it would kill militia stuff, but let's face it, who the hell runs militia fits anymore? Who basically runs even standard fits anymore? Pretty much I would say everybody you find is in proto now. And if they're not in proto, they're probably in advanced. And so they've got a buffer. I mean, that guy there, it would have been nice to have killed him with one shot, because it would have made sense. You know, I kind of saw him, got the measure of him, shot him, etc. There, you know, prime example, I missed. And just generally, I think, you know, the weapon is, it's okay, but I think I wouldn't use it. I'd say it is, I would quote, say, bollocks. But it's gonna be better soon. I think, again, like with all of the things, they're kind of balancing stuff. They're nerfing and buffing and blah blah blah, and I think eventually the plasma cannon will get some love. If not already, I haven't looked at the latest patch. It's actually patch day today, and I absolutely spaced out, and I haven't even patched yet, so I can't bring myself to log on to play with a Flaylock that is shit now. It's just too much to bear. I'll do it when I'm emotionally strong. I'll do that. But here we go. So here's a prime example of where this gun it does need some work. So basically, this guy was sitting on top of a roof, and as you can see, I'm kind of hitting him. And you know, watch. This is all 8 shots basically going into this guy, and the splash damage must be bugged, or it just doesn't register if it hits a vertical surface, which in that case is very bad. It didn't really do a lot. So here we go, look at that. In theory, that should have killed him. That shot right there should have killed him, but it didn't. It seemed to hit the vertical wall. And I think what we're seeing here is another programming bug where splash damage is only horizontal. It's only on the singular plane, whereas it's not on the vertical plane. So the fact that I hit the wall should have then created a bubble around that of splash damage. Sadly, no. So, yeah, not good. To be honest, I'm not going to be excusing of that. That's a fucking shambles. And I think this is a problem, again, that we're finding where it's just silly things like this that make this gun completely pointless. Look at this. So again, okay, I missed. To me, it looked like I had a shot go right through him, but hey, I'm not going to moan. And then finally we get the kill. Now, again, that seemed to work. So, I don't know what's going on. It didn't, you know, this was pretty much a whole match where I've kind of edited it down. And to be honest, the whole match, it was a bit painful getting a shot on. Then when you think you've got a perfect shot on, it turns out you missed completely, so there's not even shield damage. And then sometimes you would get maybe damage, but only maybe to like half armor, which for a rocket launcher, for a plasma cannon, I mean the word alone pretty much says it, is not great. So in this final bit here, we're just going to show you how absolutely shambolic this gun is against structures. So naturally this thing should, in theory, be doing quite a bit of phenomenal damage to a structure. Firstly, you've got to remember that you're firing a projectile that actually will drop down. I mean, it's the future, for God's sake. But so apparently AR rounds and shotgun rounds and all that don't dip. There's no gravity on them, but apparently with this, there is gravity. So anyway, it's not great. I would say it's probably not one to skill up in. I think it's maybe get to level 3 and give the prototype Aurum one a go. They're pretty cheap, they're not too expensive. But only buy 2 or 3, because I think after your third one you're just going to store this in, you know, what a load of rubbish that gun is, folder. And I think that's probably where it belongs for now. And I think, again, running this as a sort of fit was pretty terrible, because I went 4 and 5. I just kept getting killed because you can't really combat anybody. So I guess in summary, not great. Okay. Next time we're going to look at remote explosives. They seem to be a bit more fun. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And just as a quick shout out, check out squadbme.com. There's lots of awesome, lovely stuff on there. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.